This is Andy Purewell for Boxing News. I'm joined by Dave Coldwell here in Saudi Arabia. Dave, we have an undisputed king at light heavyweight, and his name is Beterbiev. What did you make of that fight?
I thought it was high quality, such high quality in there. But I'm seeing something different because I had Bivol winning it. I thought he put on such a good display of boxing, so clever. He didn't run, he was stepping round, he was firing back combinations, he was rolling the dice a couple of times, but he just boxed. And I thought a lot of Beterbiev's work, even when he got there, he was hitting gloves. Gloves. Towards the end, then he started catching him and started, yes. But Bivol clear for me, quite clear. And then when I heard the drawn scorecard, I thought, oh. And then it was 16-12, I thought, oh, he's got it. I'm shocked. But it's one of those fights because Macklin had it a draw. But the other guys there were all like, Bivol. So it's what you like, it's what you see. I understand a lot of people like seeing somebody putting the pressure on, but it has to be effective pressure, and shots have to be clean, have to be landing. I feel sorry for Bivol. I thought he won the fight.
I mean, I'd be surprised if we were to see a rematch run back now, and I imagine both of them will be looking towards other targets. But would you call for that? Do you think a rematch would make sense?
Targets? What other targets? What's big? Are they big enough to move to cruiserweight? If Beterbiev's won now, let's say he decides to go up to cruiserweight. I don't think he's big enough and fresh enough to go up. Bivol's definitely not big enough to go to cruiserweight. From what I've heard before, he could do 168. And what's going to be the biggest fight? It's still going to because it's split. I mean, I'm not going to there's around here. There's a lot of people that thought Bivol won the fight. A lot are scratching their heads. So we can't be in the mind. We can't be alone. So it's got to be a split. It's got to be where a lot of people think that Beterbiev won and it's the right decision. A lot of other people are going to say no way. So when it's a decision like that for an undisputed title, then get a rematch done, and I'm sure it can happen.
A couple of fights on the undercard I want to get your thoughts on. Firstly, Fabio Wardley, devastating first round knockout victory, but just kind of a word as well to Fraser Clark. Seemed to be quite a serious injury there. Hope he's recovering as best as well he can. And
do you know what? That was sickening. I was commentating on that one, and I saw the dint. I saw the dint in his head, and that was just through. It was just awful. I've known Fraser a long time when he was security, so I knew him before I knew he was a boxer actually. So it's sickening. It's not nice to see. I just hope he's all right. I didn't like how he got up and how his face was. So I hope he's gone to hospital, had a scan, and everything's cool. As for Fabio, fucking unbelievable, brilliant. What a story. For me, he is, because he's athletic. He's got an engine because they proved that in his last fight. That's what shocked me about the last fight. He throws shots from different angles. He's very, very explosive. It really wings him in. I think he's one of the most, if not the most exciting heavyweight that's out there. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's definitely one of my favourite heavyweights to watch because I know that I'm going to be guaranteed somebody going in there gunslinging. I thought he was really, really good, measured, clever, and then he saw the gap, exploded, saw that Fraser was really hurt, and then vulnerable when he fell into the ropes. That's a killer instinct, that is. A lot of fighters that have been up, steady up, and then reset. But he didn't. He saw his opportunity and he took it, and that was brutal and vicious. And yeah, what a performance by Fabio.
And Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron ending with a draw in that fifth round, obviously toppling over the top rope. Did you see it as a draw, and what did you make of the fight coming to a halt there?
When it's like, what was it, 5 rounds? Yeah. So when it's 5 rounds, you can't kick and scream and say, it shouldn't be in a draw or whatever, because it's still in the infancies and it's a close fight. I had Cameron 3-2 up, but that's 1 round, so it's like you can't go, he got robbed. It's more of the fact how the fight was going for me. I thought the way the fight was going, it looked like Ben was unravelling. And I was watching it and thinking, he's not going to win this. There's more rounds to come. Liam's getting into his groove. He's finding. He's landing good shots. And I thought he wasn't going to get out of that fight with a win. So for me, he got out of jail tonight, and he's a very lucky boy. He needs to. Listen, I love the showmanship, and I grew up with Naz. Do you know what I mean? I was in that gym. I was in that gym where everybody was a showman. So I'm not. It's not about that, but you've got to have the brains behind it, the knowledge behind it, the taking it seriously. This isn't a game. You know, just because you can do this and do that, don't mean that the other guy who probably just looks more basic hasn't got it in him to be able to give you difficult nights. And I think he's had that lesson tonight, and he's got to learn a lot of lessons. And they've got to do a rematch, because if you don't do a rematch, how that ended, there's a lot of questions being asked of him right now. So this is everybody in the career. You know, they have even the guys that have a jet set start, they hit a bump in the road, and then they've got to understand that, and they've got to feel that, and adapt to it, and you know, come through that. And that's what Ben's got to do now.
Dave, listen, I appreciate your time. I'm sure I'll catch you back in the UK. Safe travels, and I'll see you soon.
Nice one. See you soon, mate.